the moment he saw the dragon crystals in front of him. The protagonist picked one up and examined it closely, saying, "These are truly fine dragons. Not only did they successfully help me advance to a 5-star divine general, but they even gave me so much experience that I reached level 72. With these Dragon King crystals, the core of the life scepter should be mostly repaired as well." Then, quickly taking out the scale of dragon antares from his inventory, he spoke again. "I should first bring the dragon pearl to Antares, and then go search for the legendary origin secret realm." At that very moment, a portal opened before him. The main character stepped into it directly and was instantly transported to Antares' domain. He appeared right in front of Antares, who was currently asleep. However, as soon as Antares sensed his presence, he immediately opened his eyes and asked, "Why have you come back?" In response, he said, "I got what you asked for. To avoid any unnecessary trouble, I came back first." As he spoke, he took out the 2 dragon balls from his inventory, the ones Antares had asked him to retrieve, and extended them toward him. The moment Antares saw the 2 dragon balls, he quickly took them and thanked him. After that, the protagonist also took out the dragon god's dragon ball and showed it to Antares, saying, "Also, the dragon god asked me to give this to you, and to pass along a message." As soon as Antares saw the dragon god's dragon ball, he was slightly stunned, his eyes widening in surprise. At that moment, with a slightly emotional expression, the protagonist said, "Lord Dragon God asked me to tell you, I'm sorry." The instant Antares heard the word "sorry," his eyes widened even more. He immediately rose onto his claws and let out a powerful, emotional roar. His roar threw the entire area into chaos. The ground trembled violently, monsters scattered in panic, and the entire space was shaken by his fury. After roaring, Antares gradually calmed down. Tears filled his eyes, and they began to fall. However, he quickly raised his claws, wiped them away, and said, "I'll tell you this about me and him. Even if you ask, I won't tell you anything." Hearing this, Lin Moyu replied, "I won't ask, but I want to know about the dragon race." Antares immediately responded angrily, "If you're talking about those bastards you killed, they don't deserve to be called dragons. They are a lowly race, not even worthy of being considered sub-dragons. Only those who possess the bloodline of the ancestor dragon can be called true dragons." Then he began explaining about the dragon god. The dragon god is the king of the dragon race. It possesses the ancestor dragon bloodline and has awakened it to an extremely high degree. Its strength is unmatched. He continued, "Below it are 2 types, pure blood dragons and mixed blood dragons. The lifelong goal of mixed blood dragons is to evolve into pure blood dragons, while pure blood dragons strive to evolve toward the ancestor dragon. The elemental dragons you saw in the dungeon are mixed blood dragons. Their evolutionary path is to purify their bloodline and awaken its power." After hearing this, Lin Moyu asked, "But I heard there are members in the dragon race with ancestral return bloodlines. Even Long Li possesses a regressive bloodline." Antares looked at him and said, "Back then, a foolish pure blood dragon died while awakening its ancestral bloodline. Part of its flesh fell into a certain world and was eaten by the primordial monsters there. Those monsters mutated, inheriting a trace of the pure blood dragon's bloodline, and later began calling themselves dragons." Hearing this, the protagonist was greatly shocked. So that's how it is. No wonder Antares and the true dragons never acknowledge them as part of the dragon race. Antares then continued, "Let me tell you, in the orthodox dragon race, even the weakest mixed blood dragon is born at the god level. The elemental dragons you saw were merely clones or puppets within the dungeon, and that so-called dragon emperor will never reach the super god level in its lifetime. That's the difference in bloodlines." Hearing this, Lin Moyu was once again lost in thought. But the human race has produced super god-level beings. Does that mean the human bloodline also? While he was thinking, Antares raised a claw and lightly tapped his head with a nail, asking, By the way, since the dragon god asked you to deliver a message, it must have also given you a reward, right? What is it? Hearing this, he quickly took out the reward from his inventory and said, "It's this. I can sense that it's extraordinary, but I don't know what it's used for." When Antares saw the item in his hand, he was extremely shocked. Dragon Soul Crystal. That old fellow actually gave it to you. Inside it is something called Dragon Soul Liquid, formed from the condensed soul power of our dragon race. With it, you can enhance your soul level without any side effects. The crystal containing this liquid is called a dragon crystal. It holds numerous laws, and long-term contact with it can make comprehending laws much easier. No matter which aspect, it is a rare treasure. The protagonist was stunned upon hearing this, but Antares continued. Dragon Soul Liquid also varies in quality. The worst is 3-colored. A better one is 5-colored. The one you have is a 7-colored Dragon Soul Crystal. It already contains a trace of the ancestor dragon's aura, making it a top-tier Dragon Soul Crystal. It's the best kind we dragons usually give away, which means that old fellow truly thinks highly of you. As he stared at the glowing crystal, he continued, "As for the top-tier 9-colored Dragon Soul Crystal, it's never given away. That old guy isn't willing to give out the best one, but I will." Then, he released a powerful black energy toward the Dragon Soul Crystal. As the energy flowed into it, the crystal began to shine even brighter, releasing an immense aura. Watching carefully, Lin Moyu was shocked. What an enormous amount of soul energy. Antares is actually using his own soul power to forcibly enhance the quality of the Dragon Soul Crystal. Antares continued channeling energy into it. Soon, as the energy was fully absorbed, the crystal shone brilliantly. A 9-colored pattern formed within it, and a system notification appeared. This was now a 9-colored Dragon Soul Crystal. Antares looked at it and handed it over, saying, "Done. A 9-colored Dragon Soul Crystal. Barely acceptable. Take it." Taking the crystal, he said with admiration, "As expected of the strongest Antares, truly incredible." Hearing this, Antares smiled proudly and said, "It's nothing. I haven't made one in too many years, so I'm a bit rusty." Then Lin Moyu asked, "However, respected Lord Antares, how should I use this?" Antares replied, "Since it enhances the soul, naturally you use your soul to make contact with it." Hearing this, he immediately held the Dragon Soul Crystal in front of him, closed his eyes, and entered a meditative state, directly going into cultivation mode. After a while, the crystal began to shine intensely. He had entered the consciousness world of the Dragon Soul Crystal. At that moment, a 9-colored dragon emerged from it, circling around him before suddenly biting his hand. In pain, he quickly opened his eyes, clutching his head as he cried out, "It hurts, my soul." Hearing this, Antares shouted at him, "Idiot! You fell for it, didn't you? Listen, your soul is still relatively weak, you—" Before he could finish, Lin Moyu grew slightly angry. Extending his hand toward the soul crystal, he said in a cold tone, "In my spiritual world, you still dare to act so arrogantly?